Hi guys, glad you could join me for another video in this UTA100 training series. Week 9, the last week of the first training block. Wow, where has that time gone? That means just 10 weeks to go until race day. It's Friday and I'm just trying to get some hills into the legs today because I'm not sure I'll get out onto the trails on Sunday for the long run because the weather is looking pretty shitty for the weekend. Here in Brisbane we've had floods, lots of rain, and forecasting life-threatening storms over the next couple of days. So I'm taking advantage of a little break in the weather to get out and run this morning, and during this run I'll go through the good, the bad, the ugly of the first 9-week training block in this UTA training series. All right, let's go and eat some hills. I did not know that these stairs were here. Bonus score. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this first training block, guys. I've always said here on the channel that I'll be open, honest, transparent about my running. Let's just say that this first training block, I did not stick to the plan. Now, I had these grandiose plans to build mileage up to 160k or 100 mile a week. For a variety of reasons, it just hasn't happened, guys. Honestly, I just think I bit off more than I can chew, and in hindsight I just don't think this 55-year-old body is just capable of running 160k weeks. So I think I topped out at 145k, and that was last week, week 8. And it won't be too far away again this week, but 160k, it's just a little bit of a stretch too far. But I have hit over 100k every week of this training block. So I'm really happy about that. Now, to build that mileage and maintain that consistent high mileage, this first training block has been all about long, slow running, low heart rate running, MAF running. Now, I've done most of the runs in this training block below my MAF heart rate level, my maximum aerobic function heart rate level of 130 beats per minute. Now, I haven't set out to stick to the MAF, it's just the way things have worked out. And looking back at the results over the past 9 weeks, I've said this before in probably a video not too long ago, that the MAF really works for me, and just being able to build consistent high weekly mileage is just testament to running to my MAF heart rate, and that's allowed me to be in the shape that I'm in. Now, the MAF has been such a winner in this training block that I was able to run my fastest 5k in 5 years at 19:21 down there at Traralgon parkrun, and that was with no specific speed work. Even though I had penciled in some speed work in this training block, just never got around to it. So that's a huge tick for running to MAF. I also did one race in this training block, and that was the Mount Beerwah at night half marathon. My first trail race running at night, so that was just to get a feel, get that experience of running at night, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though it was wet and muddy, but it was a lot of fun. So somebody stole my local legend segment on Strava for this piece of road, so I've come back today to reclaim it. 900 meters uphill. Let's go. Done. It's all good fun. Guys, do you chase local legends on some of your Strava segments? I normally don't worry about it, but popped up today in an email, so I thought, well, haven't been for my run yet, so let's go and get it back. Mission accomplished. So the ticks in this training block: consistent high mileage, fast 5k, and getting experience running a night trail race. All right, let's go through the crosses, the misses, the bad. There's not too many, to be honest, and really it has been a pretty good training block. And if you can get through a training block following your plan 100%, then kudos to you, because most times I find that something will pop up that'll make it a little bit difficult to complete a session or something. So you just got to move with the ebbs and flows. But the misses for me in this training block, obviously not really sticking to the plan, not getting out on the trails enough. That's something that is a pretty poor strike, really, because preparing for a 100k trail race and not doing enough trail runs. So I've got to rectify that in the second training block. And only 2 misses. I'll take that. Now the ugly in this training block, only 2 things. Dealing with the heat and humidity of a Queensland summer. Some days have just been absolutely brutal. And the other thing, fatigue. Some days have just left me feeling so tired, worn out, and I couldn't understand why, because I wasn't pushing the body. I was taking things nice and easy on the majority of my runs, but I still had this fatigue. And if you watch the last video in this training series, I discovered why. Just losing so much in sweat from that heat and humidity, and I just wasn't replenishing it enough. So I think I'm on top of that now. Plus, summer's over, and hopefully we'll get some cool weather soon. Three main things. I'd be more realistic when I'm setting the plan. There's just no way that this body was going to be capable of 160 mile, 100k weeks. Get out on the trails more. I know I haven't done enough trail running in this first block. Just hoping it doesn't come back to bite me. I'd add in some strides. I skipped the speed work in this block, but what I should have done was add in some regular strides after my runs. Can't rate strides highly enough for just getting that leg turnover, and that's something I should have definitely done when I skipped the speed work. If you want to see what this last week in this training block looked like, I'll put it up at the end of the video because the week's not over yet. All right, let's finish this run. About 4k to go. Thanks for joining me on that run, guys. 25.5k, what's that about? Smidge under 16 miles. Full stats up on screen now. So that brings an end to this first training series in my preparation for the UTA100. Hope you've enjoyed the journey so far, and thanks everyone who has subscribed and followed along with my running over the past 9 weeks of this training block. Next week, the second training block, the final training block in my preparation for that UTA100 starts, and a new series here on the channel, the second training block for that race on May 14. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you've made it all the way through to the end of the video, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget the weekend review coming up on screen very shortly. Until next time, run free, run happy.